it's Judy Klock at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel to check out my latest video. I hope that you like what I have in store for you. Ready? Let's go. Hey Stampers, it's Judy Klock here. It's a little bit after 7:30. I got lost track of time. Anyway, I hope you're doing well and that you're ready for tonight's projects. Today I'm going to go and I'm getting ready for Father's Day and like masculine birthday. So I'm going to feature the beautifully handsome suited stamp set. This is in our January to June mini catalog. I don't know what page it's on because I don't have my catalog right here, but it's got a great cross of a couple of really cool images with the bow ties and the regular ties, and then some really great sentiments. You know, happy Father's Day, happy birthday to one of the world's greatest dads, thank you. So I think this is really kind of an all-encompassing stamp set. So let me grab one more thing. I forgot to bring over the gorgeous designer series paper, but the suite comes with the stamp set. Obviously it has the matching dies, which I have put somewhere on my desk and don't know where they've gone to now. And it also comes with this great designer series paper. I really love our designer series paper. And the colors in this one are basic black, basic gray, Cajun Craze, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Poppy Parade, and Smoky Slate. But just look at these gorgeous colors. Don't you just love these? Can't you just see these for all the men in your life? Maybe not so much the florals, but definitely some of the stripes and some of the pattern paper. Oh my gosh, I just love these color combinations. And this is one of the ones we're going to be working with tonight. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started on our projects. As always, if you leave me a comment or a thumbs up or a heart or a smiley face or whatever, I will enter you into a drawing to win the 2 projects we make tonight. Hey Patricia, how are you? I saw Fran was on here. So they're really pretty basic what we're gonna do. Oh, and the suite also comes with this twine in, looks like Night of Navy and Basic Gray. We're just gonna do 2 really basic cards tonight. And this one, you have the option of just stamping these if you don't have the die cutting machine. If you do have the die cutting machine, I went ahead and I cut out this tie. This is actually the reverse of the paper we're going to be working with. So let's go ahead and work with this one first. So for my card base, I have my Night of Navy 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and on the inside I'm going to stamp in our Night of Navy our happy birthday greeting. And I like to stamp that before I adhere it to the inside of my card, just in case I make a mistake. Because we've all been there and we've all done that. And just so you know, our celebration is still ongoing. It goes on to the end of this month. For every $50 that you spend, you get to pick a free item. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. So leave me any questions that you may have below and I'll be happy to help you. If you need catalogs, go ahead and let me know. This is not the one. What did I do? Here it is. I like using my Stampin' Seal Plus. I like the way it goes on and I like the way it holds. I'm still not quite used to that new Stampin' Seal, but the Plus is great. All right, got that in there. Now I have a piece of our designer series paper. Remember I told you one side we're going to use and we're going to use the other side for the tie. This is 5 1/4 by 4, as was our basic white. And I'm just going to go and adhere this to the inside of, not to the inside, to my card front. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's been such a gray and dreary day here in Northern Virginia all day. We're supposed to be getting more snow. It's just very, very gray and very cold today. All right, so I have here a piece of our basic white. It's 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to stamp my ties. It doesn't really matter which one you're going to do. I have for my ties, I have Bumblebee and I have Real Red. And I know one of the colors was Poppy Parade, but since this is really just the Night of Navy and our and white, I just figured I could really kind of use whatever colors. They don't necessarily have to be the coordinating colors from our designer series paper. So I'm just going to ink up one and stamp it right there. Okay. I'm going to ink up the other side, or the other stamp. One is like the stars and one is stripes. And then we're going to add that gray and black paisley in the middle. I'm going to stamp my other one. Okay. I'm going to just close these up real quick because you know I do make a big mess with my inks. Then I'm going to grab some dimensionals and I'm going to pop the dimensionals on the back of these cards. And what I love about doing cards for guys, I don't do nearly as many as I should, but they're pretty basic. Guys don't really like a lot of flowery things. So I feel like when we're working on cards for guys, we can really just sort of get back to the basics of just stamps, ink, and paper. So now I've got my little tie, my little third tie in the middle. That's sort of popped up to give it just a little bit of dimension. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my card front. And we're just going to go from there. And this, again, very easy, very simple. But again, I think when we're working with the cards for our gentlemen friends, you know, we don't need the sparkle and the ribbon and the silk and all this other stuff. I think that's a really cute card that, you know, good for a husband, son, dad, you know, even a male coworker. So that's it. That's card number one. Really quick and easy. And if you really wanted to make this a completely beginner card, you could remove the die cut and just do another stamped image there. You could do like a striped tie, a star tie, and a striped tie in different colors. And there you really have a very basic card that anyone can make. Okay, let's go on to number two. Number two, I have Pacific Point. Again, my 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to add a piece of our basic white to the inside. It is 4 by 5 1/4. Again, like I tell you every week, each of my layers, as I go from bottom to top, gets 1/4 of an inch shorter on both sides. That's just what I like to do, unless I'm doing something a little bit fancy. But if I'm layering, it's usually 1/4 of an inch shorter all the way around. Okay, another piece of our gorgeous designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4. We're just going to go ahead and put that right on the front of our card. All right. Now I have a piece of our basic white here. This is 4 by 3, so a little bit smaller than our other piece. And I'm going to stamp on this one our Father's Day wishes. So I'm going to stamp that in our Night of Navy again. I could have done Pacific Point, but I figured, you know, I've already got this out. And when I'm doing classes, I kind of like to limit it to just 2 or 3 colors to try to keep it really basic. So we're just going to have a Happy Father's Day handsome right there. Okay. It's a little teeny bit crooked. Let me flip it over and just see if I could fix it a little bit better. Maybe not, but maybe so. Okay. And I'm kind of stamping it up a little bit high because I do want to wrap the twine around the bottom. And then I'm going to pull in again with my real red. I just love real red and blue together, like any kind of blue, but especially with the navy. I'm gonna put that fun little bow tie right there. Now here's something that I like to do. This is just, again, my little, I guess, idiosyncrasy. I like to round opposite corners, again, just to soften this up just a little bit. Again, it's a card for a guy, so we don't need to make it all frilly and foofy, but I do like to just add a little bit of interest, whether it be through dimension or texture, or even just a little bit of interest by rounding off those 2 opposite corners. Now I'm going to take my twine. I'm going to take about 20 inches of twine. And when I don't have a ruler handy, I just kind of take this. This is 5 1/2. So just about 4 of those is going to give me my 20 inches of twine that I want. So good rule of thumb, if you don't have a ruler handy, use what you have and you know the dimensions of to measure. All right, I'm gonna hold a little bit off to one end, and I'm going to just kind of wrap it around a couple of times, okay? And I'm going to hopefully bring out my, if I can find them. Everything seems to be lost tonight. I don't know where they, oh, here they are. They were in a different, no, these aren't the ones I wanted either. I don't know where my reverse tweezers went to. Sometimes when people come down and borrow my stuff, they don't always put it away where it should go. So I am going to attempt to tie this in a knot, holding it down. Okay, and that didn't really work for some reason. Let me try it one more time. Because it's even harder because I've got the two pieces of twine that I'm trying to tie at once. So if it's not complicated enough, let's add another layer of complexity to this knot. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I can just kind of move it down a little bit to see how high I wanted it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put that on my card front. And for once, believe it or not, I am not putting this on with dimensionals. I know, shocker. I know, this card has no dimensionals on it. And I'm just gonna put that right down there. Now, if you want, you could leave this in a knot. You could tie it in a bow. I tied it in a bow on my sample. I don't know if I have enough to tie a bow, but let's see what we can do. Because I did kind of like that little bow look. I might have cut a little bit more on the other one. Might have been a little too skimpy here to really do a good bow. I think I'm just gonna leave it in a knot because I don't really think I left enough to tie it in a bow, but I do want to bring that knot around and just kind of tie it around all of those layers of string on here. Okay, just going to trim it up just a tad, not too much. You want to make sure you have a couple of tails there. There you go. And if you want your knot to lay a certain way, which sometimes I do, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use a little glue dot to hold it down kind of where I want it. No one ever has to know all of your secrets, but just a little tiny glue dot, scrunch it up just a little bit and you put that there and that will help hold the knot the way you want it. All right, that's it for me tonight, folks. Thanks so much for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed this little segment of Stampin' with Crafty Klock. I hope you'll give Well Suited a try. It really is a great set for doing those masculine cards. And if you're like me, I really do struggle trying to make masculine cards. Have a great evening, everybody. I'll see you right here next week on Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Bye.